when am I going to be able to make videos that are more fun and more lighthearted rather than having to talk about this circus of a government we have? Because now apparently we have the President of the United States on his Timu version of Twitter calling for the sitting members of Congress because these members of Congress made a video stating to the U.S. military to say no, to defy illegally given orders because the president is immune from prosecution, but members of the military are not, and you are obligated as a member of the armed forces to tell the commander in chief no when he or his secretary of defense give you an order that is illegal, like the bombing of these boats out in the Caribbean. It's murder. And so what? Even if they are drug boats, that does not equate to murder. The president is giving these people, the people in our military, illegal orders, putting them in jeopardy because they're too afraid to tell this egomaniac no. And the members of Congress who told them to tell him no, he wants them, and because he cannot help himself, he cannot handle being told no. He cannot handle being told he is breaking the law. But you can't touch him with the prosecution because he's the president and he gets that I get out of jail free card. I do believe now is time to impeach, convict, and remove the 47th president of the United States. I don't think Donald Trump deserved even one term in office. I think, and his announcement speech when he first announced he was running in 2015, that should have been the end of his campaign when he called when he said what he said about Mexicans. That would be the death of any political campaign right there from the root. But no, this man is now serving his second term in office, and this time it's a revenge tour. He has become a dictator, or at the very least, the American equivalent of a dictator. And I can say he's doing that because I have full right to call him what he is. I have had enough. I am going nuts. I am embarrassed of my country. I am embarrassed of my government. We've just went through the longest government shutdown. People had to go hungry for the longest time because people could not work together because the Republicans wanted to take away health care from people who desperately need health care. And the president got his way through the Supreme Court, though is it really supreme anymore? And did not have to give any money to feed these people until after the shutdown was put on a slight pause, so the government is reopened until at least January, until they can do a full reopen unless it closes again. Thankfully for people who need SNAP, SNAP has now been funded all the way through September of next year, so at least that won't be an issue. At least he won't be starving people. But we got to talk about the fact that the President of the United States is talking about putting members of Congress to, and he thinks that's okay. There are people who support this man who thinks that's normal behavior, and that is not normal behavior. That is North Korean behavior. That is Russian behavior. That is Kim Jong Un and Vladimir Putin behavior. Dictators, supreme leaders. Donald Trump thinks he is the reincarnation of Mustache Man. And here's the thing, we've been going through a lot of history repeats itself. Well, if he wants to be Mustache Man, there's a certain part of that history I'm hoping he does. I mean, he is a coward after all. Just my opinion. I think that if he wants to be that man, then he should do what that man did at the very end of the war. But I digress. I think the president should be impeached and convicted in the Senate and removed and then once he is a citizen again, he needs to be locked up. He is a danger to this country. He is a danger to society. He is a demented, deranged, evil man. And quite honestly, I think he might be the Antichrist.